Hey guys, this is Jose Carmona, lead pastor here at Scarlet Note. We're so excited that you have decided to check out our podcast. We hope that you are blessed tremendously. The only thing that we ask is that, hey, you may consider to share this particular teaching with as many people as possible. That would really bless our socks off. So listen, for more information about our church, look us up online at scarletnote.org, where you can find information about our church service times, special events, and more. So bless you. And now, do me a favor, let's turn your attention to today's teaching now in progress.
Is a must. So I want to begin with a definition of sovereignty. Put that definition up quickly. Did I put a definition there? No? I didn't do that? You sure? You sure? Your hair is in the way. No? All right, well, let me give you this definition here. The word sovereignty alone, okay? The word sovereignty alone means supreme power or authority. Supreme power or authority. All right? Are you following me? It means supreme power and authority. Now, when you're looking at building a nation, national sovereignty means the supreme power and authority to rule and govern itself or another state. Supreme power, authority to rule and govern itself or another state by the laws developed within. So let me digress a little. We're establishing that. Listen, all of this connects. If you're following me deeper, you know how we work. I give you a whole bunch of points and then we put it all together, and then at the end you're like, got it. So this is why I'm going to digress just a little before I go any further. Now, in order to understand national sovereignty, you must first understand that sovereignty affords us all the authority of governability. So I can govern under authority because of sovereignty. Pastor, I have a headache already. Now, we first covered who governs in a kingdom. We talked about the king and the prophet. Who governs? And today what we're going to cover is why we govern. Say sovereignty. So we first have to understand a few preliminary things. To govern means, I don't know if you have this definition of, to govern means to conduct the policies, the actions, and affairs of a state, country, or a people. It means to control, to regulate, and influence a course of action over a territory. That's governing. That's governing, okay? Now, do you know what the biblical prerequisite is for anyone who is leading a church? As a pastor, as an overseer, as a deacon, what is the biblical prerequisite of anyone that's going to fill the role of a pastor, an overseer, an elder? Let's read according to 1 Timothy chapter 3. 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 4 and 5. This is what the prerequisite, this is what Scripture says for those that are going to be in charge over a church. He must be one who what? Manages. One who what? Manages. One who what? Manages. All right. Manages, listen, his own. You see the yellow? His own. You know what that is? Sovereignty. His own. Whoever's going to lead in the church must manage his own household. How is he going to manage it? Well, keeping his children under control. Alexis, under control. But there's a contingency there. A condition. Control with all dignity. For if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of God? So this is what God demands for the management of his church. That whoever is leading has that qualification. Are you understanding me? Are you hearing me? own policies, but also externally free from any foreign control. So I internally am free to exercise authority and govern, but externally I'm also free from any outside and foreign influence into my home or into my nation. Are you following that? Are you following that? Amen. No foreigner can dictate from the outside any matter related to its nation's legislation. Legislation is laws. No foreigner can't come from the outside here to the United States and say, I'm going to change that law, this law, this law, this law, that law. No, because we wouldn't kill you. No, seriously, you're not going to change the Constitution here. There are things in place. Now, do you know what the definition of an invasion is? Invasion. Somebody say invasion. No, I'm giving you all these words. I'm giving you all of these words. I'm going to give you definition because I want you to understand the structure of marriage, the structure of a home, because it's very important. Again, the pillar that we're talking about is sovereignty. Say sovereignty. And sovereignty is power, it's authority to govern without any outside or foreign infiltration or invasion, but also internally I can govern. So that word invasion, it is a military action in which large parts of combatants of a geopolitical entity aggressively enters the territory. They take control of an entity or of a sovereignty. Usually they do this with the intention of either overthrowing or conquering a nation, reestablishing control or authority. This is the definition for the word invasion. So when we're talking about sovereignty, our governing is contingent on knowledge or the perception of authority that we have to govern in our nation. Now that word authority means the power and the right to give orders, to make decisions, and to enforce obedience. What's his name? Lewis. Lewis is an enforcer. That's what he is. You are an enforcer. Anybody who breaks the law, you enforce the law. All right? And he doesn't give you time out. He doesn't put you in punishment. You get in the way of breaking the law around him, you're going to have a headache. But a perfect example of authority can be seen in Luke chapter 7, verse 6. Check this out. Jesus started on his way with them. This was a man who had a group of men under him. The Bible calls him a centurion. He was a Roman captain, a Roman authority. He had men under him, including a slave. And he goes to Jesus because he wanted healing. He needed healing for Jesus. But he didn't feel worthy. He felt unworthy, so he sent his people to go talk to Jesus because he just didn't feel worthy for him to go himself. Now listen to this. Jesus started to go on his way there. They were saying, Jesus, you got to pray for this man. You got to pray. This is a good guy. You got to go there. He's a good guy. So Jesus starts on his way with them. And when he was not far, somebody say not far. Not far from the house, the centurion sent friends. He sent some friends saying to him, Lord, do not trouble yourself any further, for I am not worthy for you to come under my roof. And then he put it. For this reason, I did not even consider myself worthy to come to you. But just say the word. Somebody say the word. Say the word. Say the word, and my servant will be healed. This is really awesome. For I also, somebody say also. For I also am a man placed under authority with soldiers under me, and I say to this one, go, and he goes, and to the other. Another one, come, and he comes, and to my slave, do this, and he does it. Next one. Now, when Jesus heard this, when Jesus hears this, the Bible says that he what? He what? He was shocked. He was, wait a minute. you understand the way it works? He marveled at him, and he turned to everybody else. He turns to everybody else. He turns to the crowd that was following him, and he said to you, I say to you, not even in Israel have I found such great what? Faith. What? Faith. What? Faith. What did the centurion talk about? What did the centurion talk about? Did he talk about faith? No. Did he talk about faith? No. Did he talk about faith? No. What did he talk about? He spoke about authority. Jesus attributes the faith to authority. Listen to this. When those who had been sent returned to the house, they found the slave in what? Did Jesus pray for him? Did Jesus go to the house? No. Did Jesus pray for him? What happened? The centurion exercised authority. Now, why is that important? Many people have an abundance of faith while lacking an abundance of authority. Let me say that again. Many people go Sunday to Sunday, full of faith, no authority. Let me say that one more time. Many Christians live their lives full of faith, lacking authority. They don't understand how authority works. And when you don't understand how authority works, it will not release the power that exists in faith. Did you follow that? Yes. So your faith is without authority because you don't understand sovereignty. Authority can only be exercised in the realm of sovereignty. Now, I've been pastoring for a few years now. Since 2002, I was formally ordained as a pastor. And it floors me to hear parents, dads and moms, relatives alike say, Pastor, pray for my kids. Pray for my family. Pray my kids don't want to come to church with me. Now there's a problem of ignorance of one's sovereignty as a parent. You don't need prayer, you need better governability. You need to understand the sovereignty in your home, the sovereignty in your family to exercise authority. Do you know what the definition of sin is? Definition of sin is to know what's right and not doing it. Literally, that by definition is a word called rebellion. Rebellion means that you're turning away from the governing authority of any sovereignty. Now, why is all that important? Pastor, why are you giving me all of these definitions going with the Romans? Chapter 13. This is amazing for husbands and wives. Children, very important for you to pay attention. You don't tell me what to do. You don't tell me what to do. My own person. Every person. Let me say that again. Every person is to be in what? In what? Does that say women? No. Does that say women? No. Does that say sons and daughters? No. What does it say? Every person. What does it say? Every person. What does it say? Every person is to be under subjection to governing authorities, for there is no authority except from God. And those which exist are established by God. Which makes it quickly. Therefore, whoever resists authority has opposed the ordinance of God, and they who have opposed will receive condemnation upon themselves. Give me the next one. For rulers, I love this, rulers are not a cause of fear for good behavior, but for what? Evil. So if you're a husband and you're ruling your home, you're not ruling as a result of what? Fear, to provoke fear, but you're doing it what? For good. Do you want to have no fear of authority? Then do what is good, and you will have praise from the same. Huh? What? So do you want to know what God calls authority? How does he define it? Number 4, verse 4. Authority, for it is a what? A minister of God. A what? A minister? A minister. Authority is a minister of God in your life. Some of us have a problem with authority. I'm going to say that again. A lot of us have a problem with authority. We go to a restaurant, things have to be our way. Well, I don't want to sit here, I want the window. You're going to move everything around. You're going to make a way. We have, in this sovereignty, there are rules. As they interrupted my message. But listen to me. There are rules established everywhere. There is authority, and God calls it what? A minister of God to you for good. But if you do what is evil, then what? Be afraid, for it does not bear the sword for nothing. For it is a minister of God, an avenger who brings wrath on the one who practices evil. You know, the consequences of authority are not for those that practice good. Those that practice evil. So behave. Listen, that's simple. Behave. In the home, behave. Running from your responsibility to exercise authority as a husband, as a wife. Hey, you guys got to keep it down in there. Thank you. Authority. We paid for this space. So running from your responsibility to exercise authority as a husband or a wife, dad or mom, you're robbing your people. You're robbing the people in your nation of God's goodness. Don't run away from the responsibility of authority. Many men become so passive. Many women become so passive because they're afraid to exercise their God-given authority in your home. And children are running your home, and children are running your life. And you have no control, no authority over your home. And God says, that's not good, that's not my design. It is God's desire, and His design for all men to live under authority. Look, Rob left now. Rob, why? Rob. Listen, from the time that we are born to the time we expire, we are called to be under someone's authority. It is God's design. Sometimes it happens voluntarily, sometimes it can happen involuntarily. Every child reaches a stage where they begin to pronounce their independence. I don't know if parents understand what I'm talking about. Every parent has experiences where their children begin to pronounce their need of independence. We as parents have been taught by this world and by the system to call that rebellion. It's not rebellion. It's not rebellion. It is a very natural thing that we all have because we have an innate need to grow up, have control, and have our own sovereignty. It is very natural. But many parents don't know how to identify that or interpret that, and immediately now it becomes a challenge of power and control and manipulation. It's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. Somebody say good thing. Because we were all designed by God to rule. Somebody say rule. To govern. Say govern. Most importantly, to subdue. However, it is ungodly when a son or a daughter want to violate the legislation of the sovereign nation of a family. You want your independence? There's a way. There's a system in place. But you're not going to have that in my sovereignty. When a child violates the sovereignty of a nation, we call that anarchy. Anarchy is a state of disorder due to the absence of unrecognized authority. I don't recognize authority, and I'm not going to submit the authority in this place, in the house. Parents, don't rob your children from the opportunity to value and honor authority in your sovereign nation. Mark chapter 3, verse 24-25. Quickly. If a kingdom is divided, who said this? Who said this? Jesus. If a kingdom is divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. If a house is divided against itself, that house cannot stand. Give me the next verse, quickly. Luke 11:17. Jesus knew their thoughts, and he said to them, to the Pharisees that were trying to trap him with a question about divorce. And Jesus said, he answered them and he said, have you not read that he who created them from the beginning made them what? Male, and made them what? Female. And he said, for this reason, a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and the what? And the what? And the what? Don't you go around throwing your weight around because you're a man. Don't do that. The two do what? They become what? They become what? They become what? Crazy religions out there teaching some unbiblical things, unbiblical truths. They twist it, and it's not godly. Listen, I'm going to give you more definition into this. And be joined to his wife, and the two become one flesh. So they are no longer two, but they are what? One. Let's let that just. This system, religion, separates husband and wife by gender, not the Bible. So, they are no longer two but one flesh. But therefore, God has joined together, what? I'm sorry. What therefore God has joined together, let what? No man. Let what? No man. I'm going to give you that. I'm going to define that for you because for so many years it's always been interpreted that there's a man sitting on the other side of the desk and a man can't approve your divorce or can't approve your separation. Can I tell you? Let no man separate. Let no man separate what God joins. You know what's the biggest cause of separation? Your bad kids. Your in-laws. Family. Your friends. What God joined, let no man separate. Let that one sink in a little bit. We're talking about sovereignty. Do you know what that for this reason, amen, for this reason, for this reason, for this reason means? You know what that for this reason a man shall leave mama and papa? You know what for? You know what the reason is? To be placed under someone else's authority. So I need one authority to be under another authority. That's the reason. Other than that, you are never immune to not living under authority. When the daughter walks down the aisle, I need to kind of. Can we demonstrate this? Can we demonstrate this? No, she's not walking down the aisle. She's not walking down this aisle in this life nor the next. God and I have a special arrangement for her. But let me explain this. Let me explain this. Kofi, I don't like bugging you, man, but you're my man, bro. You're my man. Kofi, they're happy with that. So this is a typical wedding, a typical American wedding, or a typical wedding. The groom is waiting just like, no, it's like that. The groom is waiting just like this. Just like that. The groom is just like that. Now, let me grab, Tegan, can I bug you? Let me just bug you, girl. Let me just bug you. You're my girl, right? Can you grab Tegan? You open her dad. Oh, yeah. So, go on back there quickly. Right? So then the music starts playing, right? Stop. And then the groom turns around and he looks at the bride. Your mom is up, she's like, what? She got an analogy. Body an analogy. And then the priest or the pastor or the minister welcomes her. Thank you for coming. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been invited here to celebrate the joyous occasion of the joining together of Makmak and Niknik, and they're getting together to form a beautiful nation. And Makmak and Niknik, I have a question to ask. who gives this woman into the hands of this man? And alongside of her, is who? Who? You know what's alongside of her? Authority. I gotta stop because we go to weddings after weddings after weddings, and they are so fake. They don't understand what we're doing. This is not a now system or now institution. God instituted this. It was perfect from the beginning. So who gives this woman into the hands of this man? And then the father answers and replies, I do. And then he walks over. He gives her a kiss in the cheek. Right? And he gives her a Glock and he puts it in her back pocket. And then he turns her over, and you know, Kofi's a married man. Yeah. Just walk her in and out. He is married, and he has one woman. And then he's staying there. Do you know what just happened? Let me explain to you what happened. Come here, Mama. I'm going to be daddy. What happens now is that this young lady, this woman, says, Father, this man that's over there is so amazing. This man over there is so qualified. This man over here is so worthy that I will now transfer authority from you. You will no longer have authority over me because I'm going to transfer to him. Wow. Amen. Good. I know many people aren't hearing that. But that's the design of marriage. Have a seat, PT. What was that? I think that's am I right? So what the daughter is telling her daddy is, Daddy, I am now willing to leave your authority and be joined together into his authority. If you are the groom, then what you're telling your bride, the groom, this is what you're telling your bride, Sir, your daughter is joining my authority, our sovereignty. Your authority in her life is no longer necessary. It's no longer needed. Are you understanding this? Sovereignty is the necessary order by which authority and governability can be appropriated. So I'm going to give you these 5 things, and we're done for today. Did you get all of that? I threw a lot at you. I know I threw a lot at you. But did you get this? Because this is so important. Because one of the biggest mistakes that we make in marriage is that we believe that as we get married, our families are growing together and growing bigger. Oh, my family's growing bigger. My son got married and now he's got 16 kids. Oh, my family's just getting bigger. No. His life is getting bigger. His nation is getting bigger. Mine is getting smaller. Are you understanding? We went from a household of 4 to now a household of 3, and this is the way we're always going to die. We're always going to have a household of 4. I said that. I said a household of 4. Well, no, we have more. Yeah. We got Hector. We got Alex. Alex is never getting married. And we're all going to say together. Number 1, quickly. Your marriage should stand sovereign and operate in sovereignty. Your marriage should stand sovereign and operate in sovereignty. Remember, I said that sovereignty exercises internal authority, internal government, without external influence. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Internally, a husband and a wife should govern with authority without any concerns of having any foreign influence or any invasions into their respected nation. That includes children. Children, when you leave your parents' house, you can't come back in there interrupting their time. Right? You know what I'm saying, son? Don't interrupt my time. You left this house. Don't come back and invade my time, and invade my home, and invade my sovereignty. Do you know how many parents are stressed to the day they die because of their children? Because they can't get it together, they can't grow up, and you raise them that way. So you got to teach authority and governing. Listen, the Bible says that we are to train them up in the way that they should. That they should what? No. That's true. Number two. Mom and kids. Kids should never be in cahoots against dad and vice versa. That's it. And vice versa. Jesus said, a house divided cannot stand. It will fall. If a kingdom is divided, it will what? Fall. Do you understand that? So if you disagree and you don't like the decision that was made by dad or by mom, we don't work against each other. We work together. You have a meeting. Use diplomacy. All right? Sit down over the table and say, well, we'll go over. I didn't like the way you did that. I like the way. Becky, we have to learn this stuff. Because we would do that. She would stand in front of the kids, or I would stand in front of the kids, and don't you look what you're doing. You know? And from the moment I did that, you know what I did? I invaded authority. I invaded sovereignty. So we can't do that in the house. Is this practical? Yes. Mom and dad, if you don't agree with how a matter is handled, be sure to use the appropriate legislation, but do not circumvent the sovereignty. It's a nation that we're building. Are you listening? It's a nation that we're building. And this goes again for the wives. Husbands, don't circumvent. Don't do that in the house. It's not, you cannot do that. There's a way of doing things. Number 3. There are no executive orders in marriage. No executive orders in marriage. Wives, write this down. Husbands, write that down. Put this down somewhere in your house. Frame it. No executive orders in marriage. If a decision will impact the sovereignty or the integrity, you have to make sure that you consult each other in the decisions you're making. If I'm going to make a decision that's going to impact the sovereignty, the state of my nation, I need to consult with her before I make the decision. Do you understand? I remember hearing my dad said, I said it. Just don't. He can't. And Pop's 4 feet tall, man. And then my mother would always have to find ways to fix the budget, to help dad from the mess he would make with his finances. It was horrible. But he would never consult. Why? Executive orders. He would come home. New cars. He would come home. Business ventures. And my poor mom was suffering through this. And I'm sorry, but when you're behaving this way, it is ungodly. It is a sin. The Bible says that all injustice is a sin. Are you with me? Yes. Number 4. Don't stick your nose in foreign policy. Don't stick your nose in foreign policy. Don't stick your nose. And what? Foreign policies. Look at the person next to you and say, don't do it. Say, don't do it. Don't do it. What am I saying? What am I saying? What am I saying? Mind your business. Mind your marriage. Stop sticking your nose in someone else's relationship. Whether it's good or whether it's bad, you cannot invade their sovereignty. Are you hearing me? Do you remember when I gave you the example of the hungry child? that example and analogy of a hungry child. He's an adult. He gets caught by the policeman. He is arrested. He's arrested. He does 15 years. But in another nation, how do they handle him? They cut his arm. They cut his arm off. And you would say, that's not cool. But that's the sovereignty of that nation. There's stuff that happens in other people's marriages. It got nothing to do with you. Mind your business. Stay out. Which means that you should have no brother-in-law, mother-in-law, dad-in-law, sister-in-law, brother. You should have no one infiltrating or invading into your marriage.
That's right.
All right, that's what we're going to do. Every nation is set up very differently. Number 5, this is the last one. This is an important one at this time. Children cannot circumvent the sovereignty of a new husband or a new wife. One more time. Children, when you put that music, I will cut your arm. Girls right there. Girls right. Children cannot circumvent the sovereignty of a new husband or a new wife. What do I mean by this? We have many blended families now. Wife, if you are going to bring a man into your house and you have children, you cannot circumvent the sovereignty of a new husband or a new wife. But they're my kids. You can't talk to them that way. They're my kids. So they cannot circumvent the sovereignty of a new husband or new wife. If you don't know how to relinquish, then don't bring them into the house. Husbands, dads, if you don't want another woman telling your kids what to do, how to discipline those children, don't bring her into the house. Stay single. According to Scripture, you both share the authority in that home. It's my house. This world system is completely different from God's system. Authority. He honors authority. Authority is a minister of God for good. Did you get that?
Hey, thanks again for tuning in to our podcast. Why don't you consider partnering up with us? Go onto our website at www.scarletnote.org and look up our giving portal where you can partner up with us and help support this work. So thanks again, guys. Remember, Scarlet Note is a place for all.